Imagine reaching for a can of diet soda because you thought it was the smarter choice. Fewer calories, no sugar, better for your waistline and blood sugar. You might even feel good about it. But what if that very decision, repeated day after day, was quietly speeding up the aging of your brain? A major new study is sounding an alarm. Some artificial sweeteners, long marketed as safe and healthy alternatives to sugar, may be linked to faster memory loss and declining thinking skills over time. This is not science fiction. It's real data from one of the largest long-term studies ever conducted on how everyday food choices impact brain health. Thousands of adults were followed for nearly a decade, with researchers tracking not only what they ate and drank but also how their minds changed over time. The results are both surprising and unsettling. People who consumed the most artificial sweeteners showed significantly faster declines in memory, focus, and the ability to find words during conversation, core functions that define how sharp we stay as we age. The twist? This effect was strongest in people under 60, a group often considered too young to worry about cognitive decline. Even more concerning, those living with diabetes, who are among the most likely to use sugar substitutes, appeared especially vulnerable. Their brains seemed to pay a higher price for swapping sugar with synthetic sweetness. Now, before anyone panics and throws out every packet of sweetener in the kitchen, it is crucial to understand, this study does not prove that artificial sweeteners directly cause brain damage. Science rarely works that way when studying human behavior and diet. Instead, what we have here is a strong signal, a consistent, measurable pattern across thousands of lives, that cannot be ignored. When large groups of people regularly consume high amounts of certain sugar substitutes, their mental abilities tend to erode at a faster pace than those who avoid them. So what exactly are these sweeteners? They are chemicals and sugar alcohols added to hundreds of processed foods and drinks labeled sugar-free, low-calorie, or diet. You will find them in everything from flavored water and chewing gum to yogurt, protein bars, and canned beverages. Some go by familiar names like aspartame, saccharin, and sucralose, while others sound more like chemistry class leftovers, acesulfame K, erythritol, xylitol, sorbitol. These substances deliver intense sweetness without the calories of sugar, tricking the tongue into thinking it has received something sugary while delivering almost nothing in return. For decades, they have been promoted as tools for weight control and diabetes management. But the body, and especially the brain, may not be fooled so easily. The new research suggests that regular exposure to these compounds might interfere with the delicate biological systems that keep our neurons firing efficiently. Scientists do not yet know the exact mechanism, but several theories are gaining traction. One possibility is that artificial sweeteners disrupt the gut microbiome, the vast community of bacteria living in the digestive tract that communicates directly with the brain through what is known as the gut-brain axis. When this communication network gets thrown off balance, inflammation can rise, and neural pathways involved in learning and memory may begin to falter. Another theory focuses on metabolic confusion. When the brain detects sweetness but receives no accompanying energy in the form of glucose, it may become dysregulated over time. This mismatch could affect insulin signaling in the brain, an important factor in maintaining healthy cognition. In fact, the brain itself uses insulin, and impaired insulin function there has been linked to conditions like Alzheimer's disease, sometimes referred to as type 3 diabetes. For people already dealing with insulin resistance or full-blown diabetes, adding large quantities of artificial sweeteners into the mix may only deepen the problem. Then there is the issue of cumulative exposure. Most people do not just drink one diet soda a day. They may start the morning with a 0-calorie sweetened coffee, snack on sugar-free candy, eat a low-carb meal with artificially sweetened sauce, and finish with a dessert made with sugar substitute. Over years, this constant intake could create a slow but steady burden on the nervous system. The study found that those consuming the highest levels of sweeteners experienced a rate of mental decline equivalent to aging an extra year and a half beyond normal. That may not sound dramatic in the short term, but over decades, such a gap could mean the difference between staying mentally agile into later life or struggling with forgetfulness, confusion, and reduced independence. What makes this even more complex is that not all sweeteners behave the same way. One compound tested, tagatose, did not show any negative association with brain health. This hints that the problem may not be artificial sweetness in general, but specific molecules and how they interact with human biology. It raises hope that safer options may exist, and that future products could be designed with brain health in mind, not just calorie count. Still, the overwhelming majority of commonly used sweeteners in the study were tied to faster cognitive fading. And while older adults over 60 did not show the same level of decline, this might not be comforting. Cognitive deterioration often begins silently, years before symptoms appear. By the time someone reaches their 70s or 80s, other factors like vascular disease or neurodegeneration may dominate, masking earlier influences. The fact that younger adults showed clear effects suggests that the damage could be starting much earlier than previously thought. Public health officials now face a dilemma. For years, the message has been clear: reduce sugar. Too much sugar leads to obesity, heart disease, and diabetes. But if the replacements come with their own hidden costs, especially for the brain, then the solution is not so simple. Swapping one risk for another is not progress. The real goal should be to move away from hyperprocessed foods altogether, those engineered to taste sweet without offering real nutrition. These products dominate supermarket shelves and convenience stores, often marketed as healthy when they are anything but. There is also a deeper cultural habit at play. Humans are drawn to sweetness from birth. We evolved to crave it because it signaled energy-dense food in times of scarcity. Today, that instinct is exploited by food manufacturers who layer sweetness into products where it never belonged: savory snacks, condiments, even bread. Artificial sweeteners allow companies to amplify that sweetness without raising sugar content, creating intensely palatable foods that keep people coming back. But in doing so, they may be reshaping our tastes and, potentially, our minds. So what should people do? Complete avoidance may not be practical or necessary. Occasional use of artificial sweeteners is unlikely to cause harm. The danger appears to lie in routine, high-level consumption, the daily diet soda habit, the reliance on processed low-calorie meals, the automatic reach for a sweetener packet with every cup of tea or coffee. Breaking these patterns starts with awareness. Reading labels, cooking more meals at home, choosing whole fruits instead of artificially sweetened desserts, these small shifts add up. Natural alternatives like honey, maple syrup, or mashed bananas in baked goods can satisfy a sweet tooth without introducing synthetic chemicals. While these contain sugar, using them in moderation within a balanced diet is far different from consuming endless servings of ultra-processed, chemically sweetened junk. The key is not perfection but balance, moving toward whole, recognizable ingredients and away from industrial formulations designed to mimic real food. This study should not be seen as the final word, but as a powerful wake-up call. Nutrition science is full of flip-flops. First eggs are bad, then they are good, then maybe bad again. But when large, well-designed studies consistently point in the same direction, it is wise to listen. The brain is not something to gamble with. Unlike a liver or kidneys, it does not regenerate. Once neurons are lost and connections fade, recovery is limited. Preventing decline is far more effective than trying to reverse it. Future research will need to dig deeper. Are certain people genetically more sensitive to these sweeteners? Do effects vary by gender, lifestyle, or overall diet quality? Can switching to a lower sweetener lifestyle slow or stop the decline? These questions remain open. What is no longer debatable is that artificial sweeteners are not inert substances. They are biologically active compounds that enter the bloodstream, cross into tissues, and interact with complex systems in ways we are only beginning to understand. In the end, the healthiest diet may not be the one stripped of sugar at all costs, but the one built on real, unprocessed foods, where sweetness is a treat, not a constant presence. The human body evolved to thrive on variety, seasonality, and moderation. No chemical shortcut can replicate that balance. Choosing water over flavored drinks, fruit over candy, and homemade meals over packaged ones may seem like small acts. But over a lifetime, they could be the difference between a mind that stays sharp and one that slowly dims. The sweetest thing we can give ourselves might just be simplicity. If you found this eye-opening, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into the science behind your daily choices, and ring the bell so you never miss a video. What you eat doesn't just affect your body, it shapes your mind, your memory, and your future self. So next time you reach for something sugar-free, ask yourself, is it really worth it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.